For Anne Gregory by William Butler Yeats, Class 10, poem number 11 in the subject English, prepared and presented by VGR. About the poet, William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet and one of the foremost figures of the 20th century literature. A pillar of the Irish literary establishment, he helped to found the Abbey Theatre and in his later years served 2 terms as a senator of the Irish Free State. He was a driving force behind the Irish literary revival, along with the Lady Gregory, Edward Martyn, and others. From 1900, his poetry grew more physical and realistic. He largely renounced the transcendental beliefs of his youth, though he remained preoccupied with physical and spiritual masks, as well as with cyclical theories of life. In 1923, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. He was born on 30th June 1865 in Sandymount, Ireland, and died at 28 January 1939 in Cannes, France. His most famous poems like The Second Coming, A Lake I Love Innisfree, Easter 1916, etc. Regarding his occupation, he was a playwright, he was a poet, especially an Irish poet, a dramatist, prose writer, and he got the award as a Nobel Prize in Literature. His other works like The Green Helmet and Other Poems, Fairy and Folk Tales of the Irish Peasantry, Ad Multos Annos by William Butler Yeats, A Poet to His Beloved, a collected poems of W.B. Yeats, a collected works in verse and prose of William Butler Yeats, then Under the Moon, selected poems of Yeats, Lake I Love Innisfree, Easter 1916, William Butler Yeats, The Second Coming, and the Master Poet Collection, Yeats, and the Celtic Twilight, and a selection of his poems by W.B. Yeats. So these are a few works I have quoted here. About the poem, in 1896, Yeats was introduced to Lady Gregory by their mutual friend Edward Martyn. Gregory encouraged Yeats' nationalism and convinced him to continue focusing on writing drama. In 1899, Yeats, Lady Gregory, Edward Martyn, and George Moore began the Irish Literary Theatre to present Irish plays. Yeats helped found the Irish National Theatre Society, serving as its president and co-director with Lady Gregory and John Millington Synge. Isabella Augusta Lady Gregory was an Irish dramatist, folklorist, and theatre manager. With William Butler Yeats and Edward Martyn, she co-founded the Irish Literary Theatre and the Abbey Theatre and wrote numerous short works for both companies. And her grandchildren, Catherine Frances Gregory, Richard Graham Gregory, Augusta Annie Gregory. You will think why the introduction about Lady Gregory. What is the connection between Lady Gregory and their grandchildren in this poem? Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, there is a connection. The poem is basically a conversation between the poet Yeats and a young girl named Annie Gregory. So the girl may be Lady Gregory or her grandchild Annie Gregory. I hope now you get the connection why I have given the background of Lady Gregory and the grandchildren's name here. Okay. So in this poem, the poet tells her that if she finds a young boy who becomes sad because of a rejection, it doesn't mean that he was a true lover. He could have been in love with her because of her beautiful yellow hair. That means in this poem, Yeats expounds his belief that God alone loves each one of us for what we are. That means our inner selves, our soul, our character, our good deeds, and nature who create us, and not for our external beauty like face, hair, a beautiful structure which is not permanent in this world and keeps on changing. And I like to quote here the Shakespearean phrase, beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. So one should not see the external beauty. If you want to love a person, you have to go to the internal beauty. Here means internal represents the character, the soul, the deeds, the qualities of the being, human being especially. So this is the main theme of the poem for Anne Gregory. Central idea of the poem or theme of the poem for Anne Gregory or Anne Gregory. The poem for Anne Gregory by William Butler Yeats is about the perception of love by different people. The poem is in the form of a dialogue between two people, Anne Gregory and another speaker, whose identity has not been made clear by the poet. Therefore, it could be anyone, Annie's lover, or a friend, or the poet himself. The poem shows the true nature of humans as they are always carried away by the outer beauty, which is insignificant, and never pay attention to the true nature of the person. Now the poem, stanza 1. Never shall a young man, thrown into despair by those great honey-colored ramparts here, love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. Here you can find the rhythm. Man is not matching with despair. Colored is not matching with these two. So we are giving A for man, despair B, colored C, ear again matching with B. So again B, alone D, hair B. So despair, air, hair matching. So we are giving the B, and other three words we are giving A, C and D. So the rhyme scheme of the stanza is A, B, C, B, D, B. Okay. So the despair means here hopelessness. Ramparts here means a lock of hair around ear. This is the lock of hair. You can able to see the picture, the lock of hair, how curly the lock of hair is arranged, isn't it? Other meaning for the word rampart is the high, wide walls around a castle or fort. That means, for example, if you're having a fort, that will be covered by a compound wall, high wall. So you call that high wide wall as ramparts. So here you find two meanings. Rampart means a lock of hair around your ear, or the high wide wall around a castle or a fort. Okay. So what we understand from the stanza, the poem starts with the speaker addressing Annie Gregory. The speaker says that her beautiful honey-colored hair can make any man fall in love with her. This love is not for Anne, but for her beautiful features, especially her external beauty. Annie's gorgeous hair have been compared to walls, symbolizing the outer beauty that prevents anyone from looking inside her soul. This beauty can capture any man's attention so that he may never be able to look beyond that beauty and into Annie's character. That means nobody can see the good qualities, the abilities, the soul of Anne. Only the outer structure, the outer skin and the body of the Anne can able to find out. So this is what makes the speaker believe that no man can love Annie for what she is without her beauty. One can love her only for her beautiful yellow hair and as an external beauty, not the internal one. Is it clear? Stanza 2. But I can get a hair dye and set such color there, brown or black or carrot, that young men in despair may love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. Here hair dye means color used for hair. You can see the different color: yellow, blonde, black, purple means carrot color. So these are the dyes we are using, isn't it? Yellow color is a blonde hair, sultry blonde, orange color, carrot color, black color. Different type of hair dyes are available, isn't it? And the rhyme scheme here you can find there, despair, hair. So B has given. For die we have given A. For carrot we have given C. And alone we have given D. So the rhyme scheme for this stanza is A, B, C, B, D, B. Okay. So from this stanza, what we understand from the second stanza, Annie replies to the speaker of the first stanza. She says that what is visible from the outside is very superficial and not important. She gives an example of her beautiful hair, that she can change the color of her hair and dye them in black or brown or carrot, just like the color of hair is changeable. Our outer beauty of any kind is changeable and not true. She wants to tell the speaker that anyone falling in love with her must see the actual person behind the beauty. And he thinks that young men who fall in love with her must love her what she is and not for her yellow hair, not the external beauty. She wants to convey in this stanza that in the argument with that speaker or in the debate with the speaker, she wants to convey the message that if somebody wants to love her, they should only identify the internal inner beauty of a thing and not the external beauty. That means the body or the face or the hair is not important. It's changeable. It's not permanent. Okay. Now stanza number 3. I heard an old religious man by Esther Knight declare that he had found a text to prove that only God, my dear, could love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. Here you find that declare, dear, hair, all are matching. So we have given B, and for other three words we have given A, C, D. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, B. Okay. And Esther night here means last night. Declare here means to announce, and text to prove means a written material from a religious holy book. Okay, from a text material or a holy book. It may be a Bible, a Bhagavad Gita, a Quran, or any religious related book. The religious man is quoting some important idea about beauty towards the people. He's declaring, he's announcing yesterday night, isn't it? You can find here the religious man who is declaring Esther night that God is the only person he can love you as it is what you are. Okay, human was not able to do that. So from stanza 3, what we understand, the final stanza of the poem, the speaker replies to any statement about love for internal and not for external beauty. The speaker mentions an old religious man who announced that he had found a text in which it is written that only God is capable of looking beyond external beauty. Here, speaker means that humans do not have the depth and understanding to look inside the soul of a person. Humans are always carried away by the shine and glitter of the outer beauty, and they need care to know the person behind the beautiful appearance. Therefore, the speaker concludes that only God can love Annie only for herself and not for her beauty. That means inner beauty is more important than the outer beauty. That means inner beauty is only colored by the God who is the creator of the whole human being in this world. If we want to find out the inner beauty, then human was not able to identify that. They only bound to the external beauty. They only attracted towards the external beauty. They don't want to go beyond that. They're not able to do that because they are human beings. If somebody wants to accept you as it is, what you are, then it should be considered to be the God's vision. God only knows. God only accepts what we are, how we are, whether we are beauty or not. He will accept our character. He know about our soul. He know about our good qualities. He know about our capabilities. He know about our talents, because he is the creator of us, the humans. So here the writer want to conclude that a person is not able to identify the inner qualities of a person, but instead God can love only you here, and because God only knows the original character, original soul of inner selves, because who is the creator of the whole human being, human groups here. The poetic device or literary elements used in the poem is, for in the first stanza, metaphor has been used for in the line honey-colored ramparts. Here means the honey-colored of Annie's hair compared to the rampart of a fort. Means the rampart here means a lock of hair, like a, a compound wall which covers a fort. In the same manner, her ear, the inner hearing sense is covered by the rampart, the lock of hairs. It gives the protection to the ear. Okay, so here metaphor is comparing the honey color hair to the rampart of a fort. Second stanza, we can able to identify alliteration. Both in the second and third stanza, we can come across this device, alliteration. How? In the line like that, and not yet your yellow hair. Here you can find the sound Y is repeated. Okay, repetition of Y in this line is alliteration, and repetition of a consonant sound S, word like set, such in that line. And in stanza 3 also we have find that he had, in he had we find her H sound is repeating. So alliteration is used in the stanza 1, 2 and stanza 3 in this poem. And in stanza 3, we can find out another technique, anaphora, because a repeated use of a word at the beginning of two lines, like that he had, that only God only knows. So the beginning of the two lines, we find that is used repeated form. Okay, so anaphora technique is also used in the poem in stanza number 3. And regarding the rhyme scheme, the three stanza follows the same rhyme scheme. A, B, C, B, D, B is the rhyme scheme of the whole poem of for Anne Gregory. So I think the rhyme scheme is clear for you. So from this poem for Anne Gregory, we come to a conclusion that Anne wants a person to be loved the inner beauty, in the sense, the soul, the original character, the external, not the external beauty, the inner beauty of a person, the character, the good nature, the good deeds, and the habits. These are considered to be the inner beauty, and being a normal human being, they are not ready to accept the inner beauty. They are only attracted towards the external beauty. They only needs the beauty of the outside, and they nobody know the depth, or nobody able to understand and realize the good nature of a person, which means the original beauty of a human being. So the poet or the person, those he as a speaker appear in this poem, it may be poet or any other person, in the debate or in the argument is going on in this poem. And in that argument we come to know that the person, the speaker, tries to convey Annie that only God only accept her what she was. Only God will accept however she may be. God will accept her because He is the only person in the world who to know or realize or understand us how we were, how we are, or what we are, will be accepted whole and soul by only God. So this is the conclusion we come across in this poem for Anne Gregory. I think you understand this poem. If you think it is useful, give a like and subscribe it. Thank you.